And today we're a passive investor to ask these questions whenever you're thinking about investing with someone in their, in their deal. Now, here that has a list of the questions that you should ask, and I want to go through. There are a lot of operators that are doing anything they can to get a deal, and you've just got to make sure you ask the right questions. It's like, you're really establishing a partnership, as it were, when you are investing in somebody's deal. And frankly, they're easy to get into, but like a marriage, they're hard to get out of, and you can lose a lot of money. So some of the questions, I'm going to go through some of these. You want to find out who the actual sponsors or the KPs actually are. Okay, who's in charge? Not the mouthpiece that's, that might be talking about the deal. You want to know who's actually running it. Hey, Chris, what's happening? There's my sweetheart. My sweetheart's on there too. Anyway, so and what's experience? What have they done? How long have they been in the business? How many deals have they taken down? How long have they been doing real estate personally? How long has their company been in business? These are really important questions. You want to ask if anybody on the team has construction experience. If sort of evaluate, by God, they better have some construction experience. What's their exact target market? Do they have a sub-market they love? Are they in multiple markets? What's their market? Very, very important. What's the team's investment criteria? You got to know. If they don't know what it is they're looking for, how the heck are they going to recognize it when they see it? It's one of the things I teach at my live events. It's so critical. Hey, Chris, you're in Disney World. Well, this is not nearly as exciting as that, brother. Do they have any, do they have any experience? But, what's their investment criteria? And that's one of the first things I teach on my live events. Very, very important. Can they provide any investor references? Who have they done business with, and what can they provide some of those references? Ask them who chose their particular sub-market. Very important question. Why do they like that market? They better be able to rattle off like 10 things. That's what I teach my students. If you're going to invest in a sub-market, you better know what the 10 best things are about that market, that you can rattle them off. Statistically, lifestyle stuff, employers, diverse employment, all of these things that are so. There's one deal there. What else? Is there anything else going on there? What's their business plan? Very important. Okay, what do they plan to do? They should be able to rattle that off. Property. Are they going to reposition? Are they going to put money into it? And what's that business plan look like? What's the timeline? What's the work term of subscribe? We have a deal in some issues, and so we're very, very conservative in that regard. But ask them, do they have operating reserves, for the property? Have they completed what's the value come in at? Ask them what kind of financing they're going to get. Is it bridge debt? If it's bridge debt, they better know what the heck they're doing. Because that's the commercial real estate's equivalent for hard equity loan, hard money lender. So they better know what they're doing. Are they getting non-recourse debt? What's their financing? How long do they plan to hold the property? What's their plan? Do they do it like we do, legacy wealth? They refinance, pull money out, pay their investors back, or do they sell? What's their model? What do they like to do? Very important question. And again, ties into the next question. Do they plan to refinance, get a supplemental loan, or sell as their liquidation event? How are they going to get their capital back to their investors? Very important question. And you want to ask them what that timeline is. Because if you can't have your money tied up that long, then you need to know that, right? By the way, we're still raising money for a couple assets ourselves. So if you're accredited, text the word partner to 41411 and get on our calendar right now. Ask them what their CapEx budget is. And is any of it for deferred maintenance? Because you want it to be, you want to know exactly what they're spending that money on. What do they plan to do with their CapEx budget? Who's going to do the work on the CapEx? Excuse me, guys, sorry. Is it going to be a GC? Is it going to be the property management company overseeing it? Are they going to have a construction manager? Guys, I didn't bring any water out. Are they going to have a? Okay, then there we go. Are they going to have a construction manager on site? How's that going to work? Has anyone ever worked with the company that they're using to do the CapEx? Worked with them before? Has anybody worked with them before? Is this the first time they've worked with them? Very important. And then who on their team is going to manage that renovation process? Very important to know that as well. By the way, if you guys want a copy of this list of questions, it's a booklet. If you guys want a copy of this, just text GP questions to 41411 and I'll get it to you. Asset manager going to be on that property. Of course, you very often have a third-party property manager, but who's the asset manager going to be? Who's going to manage the third-party property manager? What's their experience? Have they asset managed before? What happens if one of the KPs or GPs gets sick or ill or, God forbid, dies? What happens? What's their crisis management strategy for that? Let's see. Are they doing a cost segregation study on that asset? Are you going to get offs if you participate? Question. If there's a way to, for them to do that. When do they issue K1s to their investors? And what sort of reporting are you going to get if you ask that question? Because that's going to tell you their level of sophistication. Questions here. If you guys have any questions, don't ask them. Let's see. Who's the REIT? How many assets is that regional managing? What's their geographic area? How many units are they managing? How much experience do they? I always, I look for an incredible attention to detail with that person. Do they have that? How do they plan to hold their third-party property management company accountable? I just came off a call literally 2 minutes ago with our property on an asset that we. What CPA firm are they working with? What transactional law firm are they working with? What syndication law firm are they working with? That'll help educate you as well. Very important. See if I had any questions. No? Okay. How often are you going to get reports, your financial reports? And of course, when do you get your money? I already said that. What's their communication strategy or policy? Like we send an email out a month. What do they do? How do they stay in touch? How do they communicate with their investors? And regarding how their performance is and to that nature. Are they okay with us doing a background check on them? And if so, what's it going to find? Have they had any failures and how have they dealt with them? Again, I'll give you guys this list if you just text GP Partners to 41411. But I'm almost done here. In fact, this is missing some. Oh yeah. Okay, it's another page. Hey, tell me a time a deal went sideways. Did they ever have a deal go sideways? One of their deals. Have they ever been full cycle on a property, and what was the return on investment in that deal? Is it a 506B, 506C? Very important. What's the preferred return? Are there any waterfalls? If they meet any performance metrics, do the percentages change? Who are the biggest investors in the deal? Do they have any of their money in the deal? You think that's an important question? What are the kind of operating risks? What's the returns, target equity multiple? On and on and on. This is a big one. How do they stress test their deals? Very important to know what they do. For example, on our deals, we won't buy it unless we can break even day one at 25% vacant. Then we won't buy it unless after we've refinanced out and got our investors their money back in 5 years. If we're vacant and we don't. Even we're not doing it. Those are a couple of high-level, simple stress tests that we do. Are they on the Fannie Mae watch list? Is there anybody on the watch list? That's an important question that you can check yourself. Have they ever given a property back to a lender? Do they test? What's their break-even occupancy? That's a little redundant there. Do they consider their underwriting conservative? And if so, how do they have them describe why it's conservative? Very important. In other words, guys, ask a boatload of freaking questions. Very, very important. Okay? So make sure you're doing that. And again, if you want this thing, text GP questions to 41411. I'll get it to you. If you're accredited and want to talk to us about one of our deals, text partner to 41411. Make it a week. Take massive action. Build that